Around 5 p.m., Mom and I started a drive 30 minutes long to get to a bar/restaurant called Fatso's, which seems it may be the new place we'll go to for karaoke nights. With the same karaoke host we used to have at the Knob. Fatso's hires that karaoke host in order to have karaoke nights on Mondays. At one point, the karaoke host pointed out how unusual it feels to have karaoke nights on Mondays. Or at least how unusual it feels, since typically for a lot of jobs, Monday is when the work week begins. Yeah, but for me, it doesn't really begin or end. At least not these days. During the karaoke night, it's a garbage plate, but Fatso's calls it a Fatso plate. I got it with 2 cheeseburgers. And for my 2 sides, I picked onion rings and baked beans. In an effort to keep to a keto diet. Same reason I picked out the other day this poke salad with king salmon. All in all, it tastes pretty good. I used my spoon to mix in the poke sauce, as it's called, as well as a sort of a cut up the big chunk of avocado and the stuck together pieces of king salmon. During the karaoke night, I sang a total of 3 songs. First, I sang On the Road Again by Willie Nelson. Then I sang El Amor de Mi Vida by Ricky Martin. I found it because I wanted to sing a slow Spanish song. And since I am studying Spanish on Duolingo, but I didn't want to sing a fast Spanish song like Despacito, or really fast songs in general, since I tend to do better when I sing slow songs rather than fast songs, because with a slow song, I have time to try to pin my voice so that my singing sounds like the original singer of the song. And basically try to match my voice to the rhythm or feel of the song. Whereas on a fast song, I'm often struggling to keep up with the lyrics. For the last song, I sang Suddenly Seymour by Ashman Howard. For the second song, I originally would have done Rude 800 by Molo, since I liked listening to that song, and I remember it from the old Go Animate video. Brian gets fired at the school dance. I misremembered the name as Brian ruins the school dance, because that kind of name is more common among that particular plot point when it comes to Go Animate videos. And no, it turns out the karaoke host, their karaoke is operated by Carafun. Mom has their app on her phone. I searched for that song. Apparently it's a little bit obscure on the internet. And to find it at all on the internet off of Bing, I had to type in both the name of the song and the author of it. So Carafun, I didn't have it. And that's when I searched Spanish songs and then slow Spanish songs through Google on my mobile phone. And throughout the whole karaoke night, which lasted from 6 to 10 p.m., I worked on the IHS styrofoam drawing. I finished drawing in and coloring in the H, and then I colored in the S. On the opposite end, the I is at. And for the S, I tried to angle it opposite to the angle that the I is at. And I don't think I managed to give it as much of an angle as I would have liked, but it did at least have some angle to it. After that, I drew in the sun, the beginnings of the sunset, represented by a yellow circle. In the middle. And then for the rest of the karaoke night, I drew in a pond with a dock. That has an outline created from a brown ultrafine Sharpie marker, and then colored in with a bronze metallic Sharpie marker. I kept a close eye to try to make each blank equally thick. And to try to keep them straight, of which I did a pretty good job, I think. Then at the ends, I drew little circles with the bronze Sharpie marker to represent I guess supports to keep the dock in place is my guess is what they're for. Those wooden poles you see at the sides of each end of a dock It could also be meant to represent docking spaces for boats, but I'm not entirely sure. My garbage plate came with meat, hot sauce, and onions, and I put ketchup on it. All in all, a pretty good combination. Earlier today, as part of efforts to work on the 99th Dan Hamming episode, I drew on the blank side of a flashcard smirks, an effort to try to get, in order to get the effect of writing smirks on a CD of music burned from the internet. Since in the 99th Dan Hamming episode, that's what Dan Hamming did. Smirks is someone who used to mostly make Go Animate videos years ago, and they still do to an extent, since they made a couple of Go Animate videos about 5 to 6 months ago. But now they mostly make music through FL Studios. Basically, my in-universe explanation for using music by Smirks, such as Homesick, is that Dan Hamming burned a CD of music by Smirks for personal listening to. Realistically, you would only do that if you wanted to listen to it while either being a driver in a car or a passenger, but even that is now irrelevant because there's Bluetooth, which you can use to hook up audio from videos on your mobile internet to your car's stereo. I drew smirks on a flashcard using another black fine tip Sharpie marker that wasn't part of the marker satchel that I found within a minute inside my room. Took a picture close up of the card. Uploaded the card to my Google Drive. From my Google Drive, downloaded the image onto my computer and then used Lunapic to use transparent background to remove the card itself from the image after I cropped the image so that all that would be left was essentially the part of the card that read smirks on it. And the thing is, I'm not really sure if that resulting image, aside from it having artifacts that are actually bits of the card background that somehow wasn't removed from the transparent background tool, were completely black after a color adjustment in which I did max shadows to make the black marker part of the image completely black. I'm not really sure if I'm willing to do the work, but I'm not really sure if when it's all said and done, it would really look like what it would look like if you wrote on a plastic CD case with a black Sharpie marker. So I instead made a text box for the scene. And typed in smirks, and then looked through Beyond Studio's collection of fonts until I found the one that's literally called Permanent Marker. Prior to that point, in the afternoon, maybe around 3 p.m., I was looking at the card itself as a reference point and for what font would look most like it. In the end, the effect looks pretty good, but maybe I'll use the Lunapic image in the end anyways. Even though the text box, its text looks pretty good. It's all based on what I decide in the end.